Hey everyone, this is Mr. Longo, and in this video I am going to teach you how to create a box plot. Now a box plot represents your 5-number summary. Now a 5-number summary is your minimum, your first quartile, your median, your third quartile, and your maximum. So for this video we're going to have some data that represents the amount of cash students have on them when I took this survey. So I'm going to show you how to do this using your graphing calculator today. In a previous video I taught you how to do all of this by hand, and you had to put your data in order, and then you had to count to the middle and all of that type of stuff. Well, your graphing calculator can do that for you, so I am going to show you how to do that in this video. Now if you would like a little bit of extra practice working with finding your Q1, your Q3, and your median by hand, feel free to pause the video, do that, and then grab your graphing calculator, and I will show you how to do this. Okay? So, now, we're going to show you how to find that 5-number summary and your average or mean and a few other things just by using the stat menu. So if you forgot how to enter a list, you click Stat, and then number 1 is Edit. Now to save time in this video, I have already typed these in. So if you need to pause the video to do so, go right ahead, but carefully type in your 489, the amount of money students have on them, into L1, and then when you're ready to see what you do next click play. So once you have everything typed in, all you have to do is press Stat again, slide over to Calc, and then number 1 says 1 variable stats. And you click Enter. This is where things are different. If you have a new calculator, this comes up. You just want to make sure the list says L1. To do that, it's just second number 1. And your frequency list, we do not need one. That's only if we have data that represents more than one piece. And then finally you go to Calculate. If you have an older calculator, yours is just going to say 1 var stats. You can just click Enter, and what's going to happen is it's going to give us a bunch of information. X with a little hat on it says that your average or your mean is $24.4. This is a sum symbol, so that's $366 total dollars, but what we're looking for, you just have to scroll down a little bit, we're looking for the 5-number summary. So this says that the minimum is 4, the first quartile is 10, your median is 22, your third quartile is 30, and your maximum is 86. So now we're going to go use that information to create a box plot. So again, your minimum was 4, Q1 is 10, your median is 22, the third quartile is 30, and the maximum is 86. Okay, now before you graph an accurate box plot, you're going to need to see if you have any outliers. Okay, now that's something your graphing calculator will not do for you. So that's something you still have to know how to do by hand. So remember, an interquartile range is how far it is from Q1 to Q3. So from 10 to 30 is 20. So to find outliers, remember, it's Q1 minus 1.5 times your IQR, which is 20, and that's going to end up giving you a negative 20. And anything less than negative 20 is an outlier. Well, obviously we can't have negative $20 on us, so that's not really going to work out. But to find an upper, remember it's Q3, which is 30, plus 1.5 times 20, and that's going to give us $60. So anything above 60 is an outlier, and that would be 86. So 86 is an outlier. Now I want you to notice that this information is in order again. And what happens for drawing an accurate box plot is outliers aren't actually part of the box plot. The outlier would actually go in as a star. So right at around $86, we're going to put a little star. That represents an outlier. So What do we do with the rest of the information? Well, for the purpose of a box plot, our new max is now 40. To draw an accurate box plot, we don't use outliers, okay? So what you need to do is you're going to create a little line right here for your minimum, which is $4, and our new maximum, as I said, is 40. So we're going to create another one at 40. But now the big part of the data is going to be created as a box, and that's your Q1, your median, and your Q3. So Q1 is 10. So at 10, we're going to draw a bigger line. At our median of 22, we're going to draw another line of the same height. And our Q3 of 30 is going to be drawn right there at 30. And all you have to do is create that as a box. Okay, and then of course you can put those little guys on the end, and that is how you create a box plot. And the way you would read that is this is your minimum, this is Q1, this is your median, this is Q3, and this is your max. And again, any outliers are in a star off to the side. Now, if you asked your graphing calculator to do this for you, it would actually graph a line all the way to the end, but the more accurate way to do it is to graph any outliers by hand, okay? So now you know where most of the data is. Most of it is between Q1 and Q3. That's where the most popular responses are going to be. So then how you read it is, you know, this is 25%. From the beginning to the median is 50%, from the beginning to the end, or Q3, that's 75%, and that's almost the whole thing. Remember, we have an outlier. So the way you would just read one of these box plots is it's asking you about 25% of students have less than how much. So less than means the lower half, or the lower, 25% of the box plot. So the lower 25% is going to occur over here. So 25% of students have less than, your Q1 would be $10. Okay, so we found that using Q1. Now, if it said 75% of students have less than, you would have to look at the lower 75% to find that they have less than $30. Again, that would be Q3. Now, if it was worded differently, just in case this were to happen, what we could ask you is 25% of students have more than. So if I said more than, that would be the upper 25%. So that would be just this little section. So that would be more than $30. And if I said 75% of the students have more than, that would be the upper 75, which would be, that would be more than $10. Okay, so you have to be careful with how you're reading. If it says less than, you want to use the lower 25% or 75% or even 50%. Because we could easily say about 50% of students have more than, and you would go to your median, 22. Okay, so that's how you create and read a box plot. That's it for this video. This is Longo and I'm out. See you, bye.